If you were to ever go to jail, what do you think you go to jail for? Now, God forbid, nobody's trying to go to jail, but everyone has something in the back of their mind. Like, if I ever were to go to jail, it'd probably be for this. But I bet one of those things on your list is not grocery shopping. That is right. Today, we're going to talk about people all over the world being charged with larceny and misdemeanors for simply just going to the grocery store and checking out their groceries.
It is so easy to make a mistake on these machines. People have a full shopping cart, they're putting it in, they forget to scan something, or the machine just doesn't work. And if you make a mistake unintentionally, hey, you could be arrested.
Now, self checkout came about as a way for companies to cut labor costs and also to make the line move a little bit quicker as we all go into the stores and purchase our items. But these machines are proving to be faulty. Sometimes they don't work. By the time you scan something, my first item I've ever scanned in my shopping cart before, it messed up and it called the person over. It says the associate has to come over and help me. They come over, they help me. And by the time I ring up the third item, they have to come back again. So they're not the best machines. Companies brought these machines in to help cut costs, but it seems like it's costing the consumer a little bit more than what was expected.
I apologized immediately and said, I'm so sorry. I scanned it. I thought it scanned. And I was trying to take out my debit card to go over there and pay. And he was like, you can't do that. You have to come with me.
Now, self checkout does have some pros. You can go straight into the checkout line. Most of the time, that many of them are just open. There's no long line. Sometimes there is, but sometimes there's not. You can just go straight up to it, purchase your stuff. You don't have to have this awkward conversation of how are you doing today, and oh my God, yeah, how's the weather? Some people don't like that. I personally don't like that. Even though I love to talk to people, I don't like small talk a whole lot. I just want to purchase my items and I want to go. However, the issue with self checkout is you have no way to actually prove that you're not stealing if you make a mistake. So that is what's happening. Companies are losing so much money, millions of dollars per year, but people are stealing from self checkout, of course. And this is what happens when you remove human interaction and replace it with pretty much a robot. Problems happen. So because companies are losing so much money, they are tired of it. They don't care if you're stealing or not from self checkout. If you miss something, they're going to interrogate you. They're going to pull you into that little room and they are going to grill you and try to charge you with something. But the truth is, it is so easy to make a mistake at self checkout. I have been there. I have like questioned myself. Did I pay for this? Do I need to start the order over? Do I need to look through the list? Things get stuck under the water. They get stuck in between things. Or sometimes I've even had my purse in the buggy and there's something under my buggy. Not under the buggy, but well, even under the buggy. Sometimes you leave things under the buggy, or you might have put something in your shopping cart and then you put your purse down and your purse is accidentally over it. But that is the problem that people are finding. There is no way to actually prove if you are making a mistake or if you are stealing. And these companies no longer are trying to figure out either. Now, all of this reminds me of that show Bait Car. Do you guys remember that show? They would have a car running with the keys in it, the doors open, in the middle of nowhere. And then you have some random guy who walked by. And because he sees the car there available, he's going to take it. And self checkout, just to me, reminds me of that. People are going to take advantage of stealing if they have the opportunity to. But the truth is that God provides so much for all of us. There's no need to steal. If you don't have food, there should be something in your local community. Maybe you should have humility to ask for someone to help give you some food. But also, people are stealing electronics. And if you have to steal it, maybe you should just go without it if you really cannot afford it. But I just have one question for all these stores. What did you think was going to happen? You thought you were just gonna put stores and the middle of places and people were gonna just honestly pay for their things. Then you have some and then what gets me is that they lose so much money from people stealing while they have employees standing around the self-checkout. I think that something should click, that something isn't working. But of course, like I said before, self checkouts were brought to cut labor. And this is truly what these stores care about. They care about the money they don't have to spend to pay someone to actually check out your stuff at the grocery store. So let's talk about how you can be safe at the self checkout. And while this may seem like a laughing matter to hundreds of people around the world, it is not. People have been accused, people have been put in jail behind simple mistakes at the self checkout. So the first thing is to not put anything under the buggy. My husband likes to put our water under the buggy, and no lie, if he walks away from me and goes somewhere else in the store, I'm going to forget it's there because I don't put anything under there. The second thing is to maybe transfer your items from one buggy to another. This is a method that Sam's Club uses before self checkout became popular. You had to actually put your groceries, like the cashier would take your groceries completely out of one buggy and put it in another. So, if at all possible, please, I hope this makes you be a little bit more cautious about how you go through the self checkout in these stores. If you are a person who actually steals from self checkout, because I mean, they exist, the numbers don't lie, please think about stopping. It is such silliness to have something like that on your record, just as a misdemeanor, as larceny. It'll definitely affect you in the future, especially our younger people. It will affect you with finding jobs, getting any kind of assistance, anything at all. So I just really advise you to just be super, super careful. Just this past week, like 3 days ago, I went to the self checkout. My asparagus got stuck between my water and the buggy. So I had the water in the buggy, and then right in that little nook and cranny, a bag of asparagus fell. And the cashier came over, well, the young lady watching the self checkout came over to me. And I didn't understand why she stood there for so long playing with my toddler. But after about 3 minutes, like 3 long minutes, she pulled the bag of asparagus from beside the water and gave it to me so that I can ring it up. Now, I never said anything. I just said thank you. But it was so scary because I said, oh my God, what if I had missed that bag of asparagus? They could have put me in jail. I've been right in there with Grady Judd. Oh my gosh. So be careful out there, you guys, and I hope this helps. So here I am at the self checkout. You see that little camera right above where you pay for your stuff? That camera.